Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's June 1st, 2016. Working hard on completing the book. I just finished the 8th chapter this morning and have only gotten into the 9th chapter. The 9th chapter is about the history of false flag shootings in this country. So, ironically, starting that this morning and in the headlines, here we get another one. This shooting at UCLA, the details are very vague right now. They're saying 2 people have been killed. They're not saying who. They're not even saying if they've captured the shooter. But what they are saying is the ATF and the FBI were on scene, and along with the police, they were able to make a quick response. We've seen this before in shootings that are hoaxes. The ATF and FBI there ready to respond. I mean, just ask yourself, what are the ATF and FBI doing at the scene of the crime? We're going to talk more about this hoax and what it's all about and why it's coming today. For those of you who are new here, what I'm about to share will sound crazy. And it's not because I'm crazy, it's because I am exposing people who are crazy. The Freemasons, the Zionist Jews who control the media, these people are truly insane, and they are in power, and they are running the show by the numbers. Like I just said, I finished the chapter this morning on the race war, and just to give you a little taste of that, one of the first major stories in U.S. history about injustice towards a black man that was carried with some sympathy in the media was the lynching of this man, Mac Charles Parker, in the year 1959. Supposedly happened on April 24th. This story, at the time, this man might have really been murdered. Very possible. It's also possible the story was completely contrived just to provoke people and to start a narrative that would go on for decades to come by the same numbers. Let me show you what's up here. This happened in the year 59. That's the year Motown Records came out, the black music label that's run by Zionist Jews. Notice that the word Negro equals 59. The word slave equals 59. The word blues equals 59. This number has been stamped over black people worldwide all throughout history. This even goes over to Africa. They say that AIDS was first originated in the Belgian Congo in 1959. The Belgian Congo in 1959, the same year as this story. And Belgian Congo equals 59. The word kill in Jewish gematria equals 59. And as many black people in this world know, there is an agenda in place to destroy them as a people, to kill them. And sadly, this agenda has been coded by the numbers. So the man's name was Parker, and all throughout history, 33 is always stamped on these stories of, racial hatred, fueling a race war. The name Parker equals 33, race war equals 33. The police are very often involved with these stories, 33. Rodney King beating was by the LAPD, a story out of Los Angeles on March 3rd. LAPD equals 33, just like police. Years later, Trayvon Martin, his initials TM, 33. His killer, George Zimmerman, GZ, 33. Trayvon Martin would be buried on March 3rd, 33. All of these stories, Michael Brown, Sandy Bland, Freddie Gray, they're all centered around these same numbers. The Charleston church shooting, they gave the shooter a 33-count federal indictment. The word federal equals 33. It's because this world has been built around us by Freemasons, Zionists, and they have always operated by this code. The chapter I just finished in the book is nearly 100 pages long. It covers, I think, probably every incident you've ever heard of, and I show again and again the same numbers every time. And oftentimes, these killings, they also have riddles in them, tributes to history. For example, last year, there was the Charleston shooting of Walter Scott in the back by a police officer on April 4th. The 47-year anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Then, days later, There was the Freddie Gray incident in Baltimore, and then right after that, it went back to Charleston for the church shooting. Freddie Gray was injured April 12th and died April 19th. In history, the Civil War began April 12th. The first casualty was April 19th in Baltimore. The Civil War at first began April 12th in Charleston, the cities at that time involved in these race war incidents. Freddie Gray injured April 12th, dies April 19th, repeating the Civil War. During the Freddie Gray protest, they showed a man named Robert Valentine in a Vietnam outfit, saying he was a Vietnam veteran. Last week on May 23rd, they made the first acquittal in the Freddie Gray case on the same day Obama was in Vietnam. And Vietnam was a civil war. North versus South. The United States intervened on behalf of the South, China and Russia on behalf of the North. Civil War, think about it, the Civil War theme. In my book, Chapter 7 is about how wars all throughout history have been scripted by the numbers, and I show the parallels between all the wars, especially the civil wars, including the American Civil War, South Korea, North Korea, Vietnam, the Kosovo Wars. All throughout history, they've been scripting it, meaning they've been sending people into battle needlessly to be slaughtered. The powers that be, the Freemasons, the Zionists, it's a worldwide order. It's a network. The power players, they all use the people of the world in an agenda against themselves. Monumental script. I just want you to be introduced to what I am showing, so as I explain what today's tribute is in the shooting at UCLA, you'll have a little more understanding. The book, it'll be finished soon. I'll let everyone know where they can get it. It's going to be long. It's going to be dense. It's going to be full of information. It's going to be mind-blowing. And I'm going to make it cheap as possible because I want as many people to get it. You know, I have to pay for these books, publish them, do all that. But I just want people to have the knowledge, you know, so this knowledge can spread and we can stop the wrongdoing and we can stop being tormented with shooting hoaxes. So before we get to the riddle in today's hoax, let's just watch the news coverage and then we'll talk about that. Notice CNN's clip is 47 seconds, a number we talk about a lot here. Also, the location on campus where the shooting happened, we'll talk about in just a moment. But just listen to what this woman says. Here we go.
I'm a little on edge, but everyone here is just trying to stay informed about what's going on and stay away from windows and be safe.
Tell me how you were first alerted to what's happening.
We were in the middle of a meeting, and the meeting was supposed to end at 10, so maybe around 9:45. Half of us started getting green alerts on our cell phones about some kind of police activity near the engineering building, and then we got more green alerts after that, talking about some guy with a shotgun being on campus. Was the first time that was referenced, and then the active shooter near the engineering building and us being on a lockdown and not being able to leave and instructed to stay away from windows.
Okay, so listen to what she said. First, they got notified there was a police presence on campus, and what this is a drill put on by the police, the FBI, the ATF. Then later an announcement came that there was a man with a shotgun. This is how they build the narrative, and this is the ongoing pattern. Also notice here that it happened, the shooting right here at Bolter Hall. The clip is 47 seconds long here. 47, a special number. Bolter Hall equals 47, just like the length of the clip. As I routinely show, they make the clip lengths sync up with the story. This is how crazy these people are. Authority equals 47. Obey equals 47. Judge equals 47. Gavel equals 47. Think about the birthday of this nation. 4th day, 7th month. The word mafia in Jewish gematria equals 47. Next time you watch the movie King of New York, look at what Frank White's birthday is. It is April 7th. They show you that on the police screen. This kind of coding, it's in movies, it's in history, it's again and again. We talked about Rodney King getting beaten on March 3rd. He would die at age 47. So have a lot of people who've participated in this dishonest propaganda over the years. All things I cover in depth in the book. So, if you can believe it, today's shooting has to do with basketball. The tribute is to basketball. You know, The NBA Finals start tomorrow. UCLA in college history has the most basketball championships, 11. In history, they defeated Villanova in 1971. Villanova, who just won the most recent championship. Villanova's now won 2 championships. They won in 85, and then they won again this year in 2016, a difference of 31 years. Basketball in gematria equals 85, and the small way 31. They won in 85 and then 31 years later. By the numbers. I have several videos on the Villanova Championship. We'll revisit some of those things here. UCLA wears the baby blue just like North Carolina, who Villanova defeated. So here's what's up. Today, the date of the shooting has numerology of 43. 43, special number. The word champion equals 43. Villanova scored 43 points in the second half, defeating the Tar Heels. Tar Heels, the small way, equals 43. The Tar Heels were in their 106th year of a basketball program. The word prophecy equals 106. Philadelphia is the city of prophecy from Revelation in the Bible, where the name Philadelphia comes from, the 66th book of the Bible. Last year, before the NBA championship, there was a 106-mile-per-hour Philadelphia train wreck. This year, Villanova won just outside of Philadelphia the day before the championship on 4/3, April 3rd, another 106-mile-per-hour train wreck. These train wrecks are hoaxes as well. You might notice last year the story was about how the government wasn't going to fund the improvements for Amtrak. This year it was they're going to fund the improvements, both based off of Philadelphia train wrecks traveling 106 miles per hour. Part of the reason they give us these stories is to create political narratives, so they can debate over gun control or whether Amtrak needs more funding. The hoaxes are used for real agenda, something to understand. This isn't just all fun and games. There's a reason they do this. And again, you read my book, you're going to see how they've been doing this since before the nation began. So I was looking for Civil War headlines today because it's June 1st, 6/1. The Civil War began 1861. Today has numerology corresponding with the Civil War. I don't see how UCLA would factor into the Civil War. I do see how the Carolinas and Philadelphia would, which could be the riddle in these madmen's mind, or there might be another headline coming today or one I haven't seen yet. But anyway, the 43 angle here, I'm not sure it has so much to do with the Civil War. I do know it has a lot to do with Villanova winning the championship and their history with UCLA. From the date of Villanova winning the college championship, April 4th, 4-4. Notice the word shooting equals 44, so does kill. From the date they won the championship until today, the day of the shooting is 58 days later. And 58 is a very special number to the Freemasons. The star point guard of Villanova, his name, Ryan Kieran Arcidiacono. His full name, gematria of 108, just like Villanova, just like Big Smooth. I should note that Golden State Warriors equals 108, and they're also originally from Philadelphia. They won the first championship in 1947. 1947. So anyway, the point guard, the guy who had the name, just like the school, he was playing in his 144th career game for Villanova, an NCAA record, on April 4th, the date they won the championship. And think about it, 144th game on April 4th to win the championship. I want you to notice that April 4th equals 144. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. Today's shooting, UCLA shooting, also equals 144. If you're new to my channel, I talk about how 44 and 144 all throughout history connected to major killing. The first president to die in office died on April 4th. Martin Luther King Jr. did. The last presidential assassination was JFK, the 44th term president. We're living in the time of Obama, the 44th president. But anyway, this guy was very central, the point guard for Villanova, wearing number 15. This is the end of the 2015-16 season they win. Ryan equals 58. When he entered the championship, they said he was shooting 58% on the tournament from three-point land. And It's another story, but I'm telling you guys, there's technology in these basketball games to make sure that things occur to the point. Again, watch my video on Villanova. Watch the work I've done on the NBA. It's a lot to explain. But anyway, Ryan 58, Freemasonry 58, Freemasons running the show. This shooting 58 days later, Lincoln, the first presidential assassination in Ford's Theater having gematria 58. Obama has the connections to Lincoln. Abraham equals 44. Honest Abe equals 44. Kill equals 44. Shot by an actor in a theater, though. We're talking about how they hoax the powers that be. Shot by an actor in a theater. Think about it. Anyhow, the point I want to make is Ford's Theater equals 58. Obama reopened Ford's Theater when he became president. Before George Washington, there were 14 presidents in the earlier history of the country. If you count those presidents, Obama's also the 58th president. There's more to the story. I just want you to see the significance of these numbers and what might be foreshadowed next through all of these coded riddles. Think about how much Obama loves basketball. That point guard, he had the winning assist. He gave the ball to Big Smooth, who made the shot to win it for Villanova by the numbers in the scripted finish. Big Smooth had a brother on North Carolina. The brother that plays for the team from Philly won it for the city of brotherly love. You might remember how this point guard as well, it was his birthday when they upset Kansas. Kansas and North Carolina, the favorites to be in the championship, according to Sports Illustrated and some other publications. Also, the college championship game, when the Tar Heels came in, one of the headlines was they were averaging 88 points for the entire tournament. Tar Heels, the big way, equals 88. So does California, like today's shooting. The Freddie Gray riots last year were happening on the anniversary date of the Rodney King riots. Maryland and California are the only two states with 88 gematria, if you follow what I'm saying. All of these incidents are scripted, planned, provoked by the numbers, by dates of significance. Calendar, the word calendar, we're talking about 58. The word calendar equals 58. The word Gregorian equals 58. We're on the Gregorian calendar. Freemasonry, building the world around us. Language, calendar, syncing it up by their system. This shooting story, it comes while the other big story is the fraud at Trump University. Donald Trump University. Donald Trump all year has been used as a stooge, an actor agent in all of these hoaxes. I want you to notice that the word Trump has gematria of 88. Like California, where this university shooting's happening, just like the words poison and program. And that's what Donald Trump's used for, to poison and program the brain-dead masses who do not understand the world they live in, who don't see how staged things are, how contrived things are. I woke up fully on September 11th, 2001. I was 18 years old in my second week of being at college. I know a lot of people are having trouble catching up. That's what I'm here for. The top headline, the first thing CNN put out when this story happened, shooting on UCLA campus, and then letting us know the FBI and ATF were there, thankfully. What are the odds? The gematria of that is 84, 93, 102. United States of America equals 84, 93, 102. The Civil War began on the 102nd day of the year. Lincoln died on a date with 102 numerology. United States of America, like I just said, equals 102. The first casualty in Baltimore was on a date with 102 numerology. Special numbers all throughout history. And they also come from the Bible, Revelation, the book of prophecy. Key of David, the phrase mentioned next to Philadelphia in Revelation 3:7. This thing that's about bringing about the prophecy of Israel, a nation that was established in the year 47 by a 33-member vote by the United Nations that has a symbol broken up into 33 parts. Anyway, the United States of America, it's all about bringing about prophecy, and it was established as part of this ongoing Masonic agenda, an agenda that's centuries old, predating the nation. The word propaganda also equals 93. Number I talk about an awful lot in the book. So here's the initial headlines. 2 people were shot and killed on the UCLA campus Wednesday, university officials said, citing police. And you can never trust the police. They're the biggest frauds among us. Authorities received reports of an active shooter in or near the engineering building, Los Angeles police officer Tony M. said. Tony M. That name is straight up bullshit. Look at this name, Tony M. 96, just like the word Freemason. The ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry are 31, 32, 33. Add those numbers together, it equals 96 like Freemason. Tony M. the small way equals 33 like police. The number they love to code in their hoaxes. UCLA just off the 33rd parallel. The name Tony also has gematria of 74 like Masonic. Again, this happened in Bolter Hall with the gematria of 47. The big way, it also sums to 110. Numbers that show up together a lot in history. World Trade Centers 1 and 2 were 110 stories tall. Building 7 that fell 8 hours later in the day, 47 stories tall. Named after a man in history born on 4/7, having a name gematria of 47, who died at age 44, the kill number, Haim Solomon, the banker who financed the American Revolutionary War. Osama bin Laden blamed for the takedown of the World Trade Centers. Osama bin Laden 110, 47. The name Rockefeller also equals 110, who proposed the project. Important numbers all throughout history. Adolf Hitler equals 110, born on the 110th day of the year, April 20th. Date of the Columbine shooting hoax by the numbers. Dylan Klebold, born on September 11th, said he wanted to hijack a plane and fly it into a New York City skyscraper. We got that story in 1999. Go back and look at it. 2 years before 9/11. All these stories, scripted jokes, hoaxes, telling us what's coming next. You just have to read the clues, you know? People get mad at me because so often I don't see it until after the fact. Well, that's why they say hindsight is 20/20. And when you're trying to learn how something's coded, you know, you need examples to build your knowledge and understanding. People who don't appreciate the work, you guys don't have patience, the aptitude. UCLA in Jewish gematria also sums to 224. We're in the 224th year of the French Revolution calendar. The American revolutions and the French revolutions connected. All year we've been getting tributes to these numbers. Terrorist strike equals 224. There was a movie that came out about a France terrorist strike just before the November 13th attack. Its name in gematria summed to 224. In the 224th year of the French Revolution calendar. Remember, France equals 47. Home of the plus 33 international dialing code. So, you know, I think that covers it. And sadly, this is really what they're doing. You know, this is how ridiculous these people are. And honestly, I even feel ridiculous usually when I get done explaining what they've done. But I just know from documenting this for all this years, following the patterns, that this is how they operate, this is what they do. You know, you are listening to the guy who in October said, based on a story out of Los Angeles, a freeway crash where a body supposedly was ejected through the back window onto a freeway overpass above Interstate 5. I said how that story was code that the Denver Broncos were going to win the upcoming Super Bowl. And then a month later, I had more details, and I said the Broncos were going to defeat the Carolina Panthers. There would be a Black Panther tribute likely at halftime. I even said Von Miller would win the MVP. And how did I do it? By these same numbers. It was all coded. I figured out that the next quarterback to start in the Super Bowl was going to be the 58th. If there were two new quarterbacks, it would be 58 and 59. But with Peyton Manning being there, the next quarterback would be the 58th. And I figured out it was going to be Cam Newton, who plays for the Carolina Panthers with the Black Panther on their helmet. In history, Huey P. Newton, I'll just show you this. Huey P. Newton established the Black Panther Party in 1966 in Oakland, the same year as the first Super Bowl. Huey P. Newton equals 58. Oakland equals 58. Cam Newton is related to Huey P. Newton. He became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl. Von Miller, the defensive player for the Broncos, who I knew the game would be rigged for, was drafted one pick after Cam Newton, and he wore number 58. It was just too obvious. That's how it was going to be. So that's what I predicted, and that's all exactly what happened. Broncos won. They defeated the Panthers. Von Miller was the MVP. There was a Black Panther tribute at halftime by the numbers. Remember, Beyonce and her dancers put up a sign for a man named Mario Woods. San Francisco equals 122. BPP in Jewish gematria equals 122 for Black Panther Party. Mario Woods was supposedly killed December 2nd. December 2nd, 12/2, a lot like San Francisco. Show you this. San Francisco the big way, 122. 50 the small way. They just hosted Super Bowl 50. There's something this calculator doesn't do. It doesn't calculate S exceptions. There are 2 S's in San Francisco. For each S, you can add 9 more. 50 plus 9 is 68. Mario Woods, who died on December 2nd, died 68 days before the Super Bowl and the tribute for him. And he died on Bayview Street. Bayview. The reason I remember all this is because I've written a book, studied it deeply. It's the same thing in all of these stories. You know, Bayview 33, Race War 33, Police 33, Rodney King's rolling over on his grave, beaten on March 3rd, Trayvon Martin rolling over in his grave, buried on March 3rd. In a way, I'm being a little bit sarcastic too, because in truth, there is no Michael Brown. There is no Trayvon Martin. All of these stories are contrived, bogus bullshit. George Zimmerman, a made-up character to torment people in the headlines. You know, just the other day, he was trying to auction his handgun that he killed Trayvon Martin with. A story they like to keep bringing up. When you read my book, you're going to be blown away at just how deeply they have coded this number and how many times they've done it in every story, and how all these stories are bogus bullshit by the numbers. Can't say it enough. So I'm talking about more than today's shooting. I just want people to understand this is what's up. This is what's going on in the nation. This is how they do us. You know, Sandy Hook, look this up. Sandy Hook equals 112. That's the alt dialing code for 911. If you dial 112 in your cell phone, you're going to be connected to 911. You know how much they said, what's this kid's name? Adam Lanzawade, the shooter at Sandy Hook. It was just reported everywhere that Adam Lanza weighed 112 pounds at the time of the autopsy. Sandy Hook in gematria also equals 58. It's just all throughout history, numbers of significance coded again and again, joke details. You know, they said this kid was like Rambo, you know, carrying all these weapons. The kid weighed 112 pounds, they're trying to tell us. All this reporting on his weight of being 112 pounds, responsible for the Sandy Hook shooting. You know, the first parent to come out at the Sandy Hook shooting, remember what his name was? Robbie Parker. Robbie, Robert. They use these same names, same numbers again and again all throughout history. Where did Sandy Hook happen at? It happened in Newtown, 33 land. When they put out the names of this shooter, the victims, you're going to see. They're going to be all coded numbers, the numbers we've already talked about in this video. It's the same pattern every single time, all throughout history. All right, until next time, Truth Seeker. Hey, Truth Seeker. Encore. I just want to revisit one more story where we recently heard about the ATF and the FBI being on scene, ready for the shooting. That was last year in Waco, the home of the Waco siege hoax by the numbers. David Koresh, the leader, taken out at age 33. It's all in the book. You know, I go into great depth, show how it's all scripted. Anyhow, this Waco incident happened last year on the 137th day of the year. 137 is the 33rd prime number. Washington, D.C. equals 137. American meridian equals 137, which is what Washington, D.C. sits on. Authority equals 137. Notice the emphasis is here on outlaw bikers. Outlaw bikers in gematria equals 156. When you write out 33, it equals 156. The number 911 is the 156th prime number. The World Trade Centers were built by a firm out of Seattle with name gematria of 156. The buildings lasted for 33 years before they fell down on 911. 156 connects to 33 and 911. This is truly how planned out everything is, and this is the way, the code goes. This is how they have truly been operating. That Illuminati card game, it turned 33 years old last year at the same time this story happened. They had one of their cards called Biker Gangs. They've been forecasting what they're going to do in a lot of different ways. And all of these stories are drops in the bucket for an ongoing agenda. Scaring people, taking away rights, thinking we need more and more Big Brother. If only the ATF and FBI were on every corner, then we'd finally be safe. All right, until next. Hey, True. I was just about to upload this video, and I had one more important thought. With regards to the shooting and basketball in Los Angeles and the NBA Finals starting tomorrow, today's date, June 1st, can be written 1/6, the day before the month, kind of like 16. The Los Angeles Lakers have won 16 basketball championships. And recall, at the beginning of the season, Flip Saunders died, the coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He died just days before the season began. Minnesota, the original birthplace of the Lakers. We just had Prince die on a date that was connected to the NBA Finals. I have videos on that. Again, Minnesota, the birthplace of the Lakers, a relationship. Los Angeles, Minnesota. I noticed that when Kobe and LeBron played for the last time against each other, there was a big deal about it. That game came 137 days after the death of Flip Saunders, who died by the numbers, the 33rd prime. And, you can see, here's what I wrote. Another positive sign for NBA Finals for LeBron. That's what I was referring to early in the season. I said it would likely be Cavs and Warriors repeat. There's something called the Joe Jellybean prophecy that I have created. And this is what it is. Joe Jellybean Bryant was drafted by the Golden State Warriors in 1975, 41 years ago. He was taken 14th overall by the Golden State Warriors. He would end up traveling and playing most of his career in Philadelphia, where Kobe was born, where the Warriors are originally from. So, Golden State, who he was drafted by, has gematria of 41. His son, Kobe Bryant, has gematria of 41. He was drafted 41 years ago, 14th overall. Just think about how the number 14 is a reflection of 41. In gematria, it also sums to 41. And, there's been all these parallels with the Bulls, the Warriors, and the Lakers this year. There's a major connection between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Jordan played his final game against the Philadelphia 76ers, the city Kobe was born in. When the Warriors started this season, they began 16-0 against the Lakers, who won 16 championships. And I said in a video that I made then, the night of, if the Warriors go on to win the finals this year, just remember that they went 16-0 against the Lakers at the beginning of the year, the team that's won 16 championships. But I really do think it's in the cards for LeBron. I still think more lines up for LeBron this year. LeBron's in his 13th year. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant retired 13 years apart. Kobe's final game was on the 13th day, April 13th, the day the regular season ended. The number 41 is the 13th prime. They call LeBron King. King James is in his 13th year, the King, 13th season. I think he's going to take it over the Warriors, and I think the Warriors are for the right team for him to advance over. I think that's how they have it all scripted. I could be backwards, though. The Warriors might go over the Cavs. I got that wrong last year. I could do it 2 years in a row. But again, I just want people to understand how the news and sports are interconnected. You know, with regards to college and shootings, I should have brought up that earlier this year, Oregon lost the Alamo Bowl to Texas, and then the same night, a standoff began in Oregon State that lasted 41 days. The Alamo lasted 13 days. Oregon lost the Alamo Bowl this year with 41 points, which began a 41-day standoff. Scripted. News and sports interconnected. So for anyone who thought I was crazy and didn't make it this far, too bad they missed out. But again, I'm not crazy. I'm exposing crazy people. There's a whole lot more to this story than what I told you. Go back and watch my other videos on Kobe's 60-point game. There's a million things I left out, but the videos are up. Till next time. Encore. While I was making the video, the people who follow my blog were posting some great information. This is what's exciting for me. When I started this work, when I had this blog, there was nobody else in the world doing this. Everybody was criticizing me and saying I was nuts. Now I have people who are actively researching, applying the skills, and making important contributions. Here's what I didn't know that I now know. This man points out that UCLA just signed a big deal with Under Armour. Remember, Steph Curry did that earlier this year, causing Nike's stock to plummet. Under Armour equals 58, like Freemasonry. Their CEO, Kevin Plank, named Gematria 43. The reason the people on my blog know to do this is because this is what they have learned that I've been showing, how throughout history these incidents are tributes to companies, events, people. We talked about 58 and 43 in this shooting. How fitting. Dan Barrett, one of my best students, has a YouTube channel. Just search for his name just like that. This guy is a genius. Sometimes he makes his videos a little long and redundant. That's just a little friendly criticism. But Dan's a real genius. I have no doubt this person is smarter than me. So check out his work. I don't think he knows as much about history, but he is truly brilliant. Dan points out the UCLA connections between the players. I just did a post last night on the arrest of Darren Collison. An arrest by the numbers. Maestro, who's on my blog a lot, always making cool finds. He points out how Stephen Curry also has the UCLA connection. Davidson, his college connects through the 88. So anyway, I'll link my blog. If you guys don't visit my blog, I'm telling you, check it out because you get to see what other people are finding and what other minds are thinking. And these people often find all the things that I overlook. So I guess since we just brought up Darren Collison, let's talk about it. I noticed right away that his full name, Darren Michael Collison, a name with double 33 gematria. So often these athletes are used in psychological operations in the news in the off-season, especially for domestic abuse. I think a few years back with all the NFL beatings, I was doing videos then showing how they were by the numbers. I think these athletes are willing to participate in the acts for extra money. They're not worried about their character. It's all about money, money, money. And if you follow my work on pro sports, these athletes are the biggest frauds among us. They are all sellouts. They're overpaid assholes. They are selling out their fans. They're participating in rigged sports that they know are rigged. Just look at the way that the Thunder game ended the other night. It ended 88 days after the Thunder and Warriors last played in the regular season. The Thunder lost with 88 points. Oklahoma City Thunder equals 88. At the end of the game, they weren't even trying to score. Scripted to the point, these games are. So anyway, Darren Michael Collison supposedly arrested for domestic abuse. He was arrested by the numbers. And so often these guys do have the special birth numerology, which really makes me wonder. But anyway, he's born on a date with 137 numerology, the 33rd prime, going nicely with his name. His birthday is also August 23rd, the 235th day of the year. It's another topic, but this is a number that we're following right now, 235, important number that's been coded for several months, trying to understand it. His arrest on May 30th was 85 days or 2 months and 24 days before his upcoming birthday. Of course, basketball equals 85. This is what kind of world we live in. Contrived news, using celebrities, using fake entities, just to create a narrative to steer the masses. And it's been going on every day for as long as this nation's existed, and long before that. All right.